Welcome back to the Insiders. It's Matt here again. New episode for you, new special guest for you, and a super exciting one. Tonight we were joined by someone who's recently jumped back onto social media to say that they want to get back chasing waves. It's a UK surfer, UK legend, really, and there was a big kickoff when he announced that he wants to come back with a lot of response from big hitters in the UK and European surf world wanting to be part of his comeback trail as such. So I was really keen for this. I've been a big fan of this guy for a while. So without further ado, tonight we speak with Jayce Robinson, and this is an epic one. Enjoy, people. Let's go.
Can tell I haven't had a Zoom call before, can't you?
Ah, got you. I can hear you. You've not had a
Yo,
Zoom call before.
no, I've normally got Hannah on my side doing all the Zoom stuff. So first one on my own.
That might be some sort of record, you know.
I reckon could be.
Darren, who I do the poddy with, he's not surfed a wave pool yet, and we always kind of thought that might be a bit of a record. Um,
Maybe we're breaking records tonight already.
that's it. Um, how you
How
doing?
you
You all
doing?
good?
Right?
Yeah, great, thanks, mate. Yeah, yourself?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm good. We've had a nice little surf this morning. Bit of gardening this afternoon. So I feel like I've had a bit of exercise and achieved, which is thumbs up all
Yeah,
round.
that sounds productive. As yeah, that sounds really good. I didn't manage a surf today, but got a lot done for work, which frees up some time to surf tomorrow, and the waves look pretty fun. So,
There we go. Yeah,
um,
nice. I'm gonna have
yeah,
to apologise again for last night. I am really sorry about that.
honestly, I was gonna message you about it after anyway, but like, there's been times where it's just been me and Darren, and I'm like, oh, where's Daz? And
Yeah,
he's not replied, and then he's been like, sorry, mate, I was surfing, and then like vice versa. So.
that's right. It's got you keep it casual. It's all good, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what this is all about. He is coming. He messaged. He said he's just in and out because you have to put Marley to bed. So he'll probably jump on. I've
All
sent him
good,
all the
mate.
codes, but we can start
Yeah, no stress. No stress.
because we don't pay for our Zoom. We basically get 40 minutes,
Oh,
um,
okay.
uh, and then it cuts us off. And you can do another meeting straight after, but it's a bit
Yeah,
like. But
you
then
kind of don't want to.
it helps us keep it to within 40 minutes anyway.
Yeah,
So
it makes sense. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, cool.
so we're all good.
How did you and Darren meet then? Have you been friends for a while? Or?
Yeah, so me and Daz, so basically I ran or like worked and was manager at Board Shop for like nearly 6 years. And when I started there, Darren was the manager of Euroglass.
Oh,
So
okay.
he's
Mm,
pretty certain he's met you down at
probably.
Euroglass. Um,
Yeah, I haven't done that much time down there in Euroglass, to be honest. I've never really had boards from there.
yeah,
But I'm sure we would have crossed paths at some point, and maybe I'll recognize him when I see him. But
yeah.
have
Because
we ever crossed paths?
no, so um yeah, so basically, me and Darren met through that, and then we just through COVID, we were having these hour-long phone calls.
Yeah,
I'll put this in the poddy actually, but
yeah,
we were having these hour-long phone calls, and then one day we was like, we should just record this, like,
yeah.
and just see what comes of it. And now we're here.
That's
Um,
sick. I mean, there's so many people that actually, I think, during COVID had the same idea but just didn't do it.
yeah,
Like, quite a lot of my friends, are like, oh man, I want to start a podcast up. Like, so many ideas, like this and that, and then they just didn't buy the gear, didn't get the microphones and stuff like that, and thought maybe it's not
yeah.
even worthy. But
I
yeah,
think
that's cool. You actually did it.
I think I almost done that. Like, I almost made up my mind before looking into it. I almost was like, oh, it's going to be too much, and then. Like when you listen to our first episodes, we don't have mics. We're on old laptops.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really know what I was doing editing, but actually, like the barrier to it is pretty cheap. Like you just need a
Yeah.
hosting site monthly and stuff.
Yeah. Right.
And then you could do it like this. And now we're here where we're here,
That's
like
it. So
running
with
it.
the microphone, is my sound all right then? Because
Yeah,
that's all good. Because I just turned the dishwasher off.
Oh yeah,
because I
no, it's
thought
all
that might
good.
have been a.
No, it's good, and I've got I edit it all, and I can put like you can take background noise out and have
Okay,
it like directional and stuff, so it's all good. Yeah, but no, the sound's all good.
good.
Um, but yeah, so we haven't actually really ever crossed paths because um, I think like all of my involvement was more like board shop wise and everything board shop done. But I've been a massive like follower and fan of yours for like quite a while now. Like, but obviously
Oh,
you've more had ties with down the line.
yeah,
Here's Darren as well, um, and stuff. But yeah, so we haven't really ever actually crossed paths too much, but
no,
been a big fan.
yeah, because I mean, my memory's really shit, and I'm honestly like the worst with names. Normally, I can recognize a face.
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't remember where from, but I'll never remember a name.
I'm a bit like that, but I'll like because I've got a dog and I walk my dog all the time and I can remember people's dogs' names, but I have no idea
Yeah,
what their names are
it's pretty
at
bad, isn't
all.
it?
Darren,
Is
how
it a
you
bloke
doing?
thing?
Yeah, not bad. I think that's a global sickness, not remembering names.
It's not just a man thing.
I can't. I fucking. But I'm pretty sure I met you. I think.
Yeah, well,
I think in the Euroglass factory many years ago. But I'm trying to wonder if I'm not getting you mixed up with Luke Dillon. But I think
I
he
just
come
said
past maybe.
I just said to Matt that I didn't really like stop in at Euroglass that much because
Uh,
I didn't have boards from there. My relationship with boards was with do you know Chevalier?
yep.
With him through Rip Curl, and so when I was younger, I got boards through him and or DHD when I got a bit older. So I never really had. I
Maybe
think
I
it was more
just
of
saw,
a Quicksilver
yeah.
connection, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Euroglass.
maybe I just saw a bunch of you little Rip Curl kids in the car park or sometime.
Yeah, I'm sure we would have crossed paths.
How old are you, Jace, by the way?
I am 36.
36. So I was at your
Yeah,
last 27. That's 18 years ago. So you would have probably been about 18 or 19 if I remember.
yeah. I mean, that was about the time when I was doing some stints down there. So yeah, long
Time
time ago now.
flies.
I'm
So
flying.
you live down there full time, do you, Darren?
Yeah, yeah. I've lived down here since 1998.
Nice,
Like
nice.
when you were a wee snipper.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I almost booked a flight. I was meant to come down today, and I don't know why I didn't. I think the chart just was like
Yeah, it's not
the
good.
wind.
Good
The wind
decision.
was variable, and I spoke to Pierre Valentine, and I was like, "What's it like down there?" And he said the banks are a bit shoddy at the minute, and it's a little bit in between jet ski and turns.
Yeah,
So it kind
I
of put
think
me off a
everything
lot.
just got annihilated.
Yeah, yeah. Massive down there, huh? This last swell.
So that kind of leads into like that's a really good point to like lead into that because one of the main reasons why like I messaged you was like your recent couple of posts where you were like, okay, I want to reactivate and
Mm.
like get busy again and kind of get out your bubble is, and you said a few things. And so one of the questions I had was like before posting that, did you have in mind some trips and some strike missions that you kind of really wanted to like get back
Mm.
to?
Yeah, I mean, for the last like 5 6 years now, I've been building a house with my partner Hannah here in Cornwall, a little village called Nancledra, and it's kind of taken quite a lot of my energy, our energy and time, and I drifted away from doing a lot of those trips, and it wasn't just like suddenly like it's gone. It was like over years as I parted with Rip Curl, and then that kind of disappeared, and so all the paid trips weren't happening, and then I was just like being stingy, not spending my own money on just doing it because I had it free for my whole life. And then it was almost like there wasn't really a purpose either for me to go and do those trips. I lost track of that, and then the house, and so yeah, the kind of newfound love for it, I guess, came from just feeling a little bit like everything was closing in, and all those opportunities and those trips, and like looking at past videos where I was just like having so much fun. It's like it's all kind of gone. Like, what's happening? I need to get back into this because I still surf. I surf every day here. Go
Yeah.
down to Portmere, and it's just really fucking boring. I love it though. At the same time, I love Paul Vermeer. It's wicked fun, but it's feel like I'm being quite boring, and I need to get out there. So yeah, that was the whole reason for doing that. And already I felt like a few things coming my way, and the cogs are turning again. And
Yeah.
yeah, strike missions. I guess like anywhere that pops into mind, and
Yeah, because
yeah,
I saw like you obviously on your post like and there was you had a lot of activation, a lot of
yeah,
a lot of response, and I saw that like so I'm pretty good friends with Logan, and I saw him like inviting you up to Wales with the boys, and I
yeah,
saw like call Harry Timpson a good friend, fortunately, and he was like always a message away. And G Man, who's been on our poddy, and we know like he's always scoring
yeah,
and stuff.
yeah,
I was like, well, that's not like if you were a little bit like apprehensive about how it's going to go down or like whether there's an appetite, like
mm.
you've almost got like all of these people now like come on like we gotta go like
Oh my God, yeah. It was, yeah. It confirmed in my mind that everyone was stoked for me to kind of get back on that wagon, and I was buzzing off it. Like the dopamine hit was really kicking in, and I was feeding off that, and I was actually feeling like that excitement again inside. It was really cool, actually. But I was nervous. I've always been a bit of a hater of like the grammars and like constantly feeding into the algorithms and just being like, nah, like you can get an egg on it quite easily, can't you? When
yeah.
you're not doing it yourself and just moan about other people, like, oh, laugh at them or whatever. And then now I'm laughing at myself doing it. So
So, well, off that little thing, when you said you were building your house, does that mean with your partner, does that mean you got other people that you're booking to build it, or are you actually physically building some of it?
well, I was helping. I was labouring on site with the contract team we hired, and we were living in a little horse shed which we converted like the 2 years previous when we bought the land. And so we were literally up in the field and checking in on them every day. And I would just, to be honest, they didn't want me to work because the insurance and stuff like that, But I was eager to like really learn everything I could, and halfway through the build, they were just like, they realised I had a few skills, and they let me come on site and just chip away at a few things. So yeah, I kind of helped out a bit and slowed them down probably more than anything.
You don't think that that's just as well? I personally actually do. That's as important as anything that you've done in your life anyway. That like that's your home.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've always lived with my parents. Like I've travelled, but then come back to base camp, and my parents have got a farm nearby. And my dad's like a very skilled joiner, carpenter, like every trade he can do. But I've never really learned because I've always been off surfing and doing that one. So when we decided to buy this land, it was kind of like that break free from my dad and not being able to call on him whenever like we needed to fix something, and like be it a water pipe or whatever it is. So like within the first year, I learned so much already, and now I'm happily like going out there. Like I've built a little extension on our cabin on my own, and a shepherd hut in the garden as well. So it's been an amazing kind of chapter, really, like coming from surfing and learning these other skills. And I guess it's just got to the point now where it's all done, finished. We're living in here. It's great. It's amazing. Like we wake up every day and kick ourselves because it's beautiful. But yeah, I need to get back to that other thing, which was the joy of my life when I was younger, like
Did you
traveling and meeting people and stuff. Yeah.
have you built your board garage? Have you got a board garage somewhere in there?
Yeah, we've got a container that was here. It's like a little shipping container that we like, moved all of our stuff in, and then we kind of siphoned that out, and it turned into a board shed pretty quickly.
Sick.
It's pretty
Yeah,
sick. I was going to ask about that. That's like a nice like segment as well because so me and Darren are like we are like board nerds like and
yeah,
it's quite rare to actually speak to someone. So you're on DHDs,
yes.
which there aren't many people in Europe on DHDs.
No.
So what have you been loving and what you've been riding recently?
Well, boards, yeah. I mean, I love the Phoenix model. I don't know if you've looked at any of my other stuff from down the line. It's just a short, stubby skateboard, basically, that I can't seem to get off. And every time I try, I struggle. And I thought it was only me, but actually, yesterday at Pras Sands, I bumped into an old friend and I seen him running out getting a different board. And I was like, "You just changed your board?" He's like, "Yeah, I just tried a short board again and I couldn't do it." I was like, "Oh my god, there's more of them." And obviously there is, because it's so fun once you jump on one of those boards, and to get off and feel that length again is just, it's just strange. But I, to be honest, it's one of the reasons I stopped competing. I went to the British up in Furso and I needed to jump back on normal boards. Obviously, like being Furso, powerful point break, and I was just completely out of rhythm and
Yeah,
lost in like the second round, and just, you know, when you just feel like awkward,
yeah,
everything was awkward, and I just gutted, and it really put me off. I was just, that was one of the reasons, and still to this day, I guess I haven't had a short board, which I don't know if it's because I just haven't given it enough time, but
yeah. But then also, it's like I mean, we're big fans of a lot of like myself and Darren, and like we're big fans of a lot of free surfers out there who don't go anywhere near shortboards. And like one of the most memorable poddies we've ever done, or that I've ever done, is with Jack Freestone, and he basically said for like 10 years of his life, all he had was 6.1s, 6.2 thrusters, and then like he made the switch to albums, which were like known as alternative boards,
yeah,
and he kind of was like, I regret that whole period where I like limited his surfing. He was saying, and I think that that was going to be my next question to you. Is obviously the Phoenix is like a really fun short skatey board. Does that then like give you some sort of kind of like level of intrigue into going even further towards like different models and alternative models
yeah.
away from that as well?
Yeah, it does for sure. Like especially like twin fins, and I don't know about single fins. I don't think I'll ever really get on there.
Yeah,
But yeah, I do. I want to experiment. I just want a load of boards stacked up and just jump on every single one of them on a day, like a fun day at Port Premier, and be like just blown away. But how good they can all go. But it's just, even with DHDs, you know, my partnership with him, and down the line, I get like a few, or maybe like 6 boards a year, and it takes quite a while to put the order in, and then the shipment come through. And if you know the 3 that I got just don't really work for me, then I'm stuffed for another like 6 months, you know. So it's a bit tricky, really. That relationship, it's amazing, but it's still, it's just not as good as it sounds, you know. It's not like
yeah,
me working with Darren out in Oz, just being like going straight back to his factory and, you know,
yeah.
having a chat about what I liked and didn't with that board. So
It's never enough, I guess. So what? So that was my question, which you answered unreal without even asking it. So is Trevor still down the line?
Trevor sold down the line.
Okay.
Maybe I think he's still got shares in it,
Yep.
but he did sell the majority at least. And yeah, he's got a bunch of really cool guys looking after the shop there.
And did you
But
always
yeah,
ride DHDs? Because he was close with Rip Curl back when, I guess, when you were on with Rip Curl.
yeah. So that was completely different. When I was riding DHs back then, that partnership was through Rip Curl, and then I kind of had a period of surfing different boards like JP, a couple of local shapers here, RT surfboards down in Anglet. Um, he was a
Yeah.
really cool guy as well. Like, I worked with him, and I think that was actually the start of loving smaller boards, because he made me this tiny little 5.2 fish thing, and it was just unreal. I was just flinging it around and doing like 3 air reverses in one wave, and I was just loving that, and that was the start of actually of that one. But I guess, yeah, he started to make me normal shortboards again, I was just not getting it right every time, one after another, and I felt like I was just wasting boards and wasting his time and my time, and this partnership came up with Down the Line and Darren again. So I guess
Yeah.
I'm back in the old shoes though, of not
Yeah.
knowing what to do. But
So sorry, Matt, what actually is then your day job, Jace?
so we, I guess after I finished competing on the juniors, I bought my first house in St Ives. Had a bit of money to put down, and started Airbnb like a room in that house and living in the other room there. And then I actually bought a bell tent and put it in my parents' field and Airbnb that too, which was like the start of this new job that I had. And then one thing led to a next, and Hannah and I met, and we bought another house. And then the Airbnbs continued and growed, and to this day, like we run 7 Airbnb lets in and around St Ives. So that's like the main job that pays the bills for us. And we also, our house here that we built, we use it as a shoot location for brands.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's Bamboo House, Cornwall, isn't it, Han? Bamboo House, Cornwall. Maybe you want to find it on Instagram. I can send you a link.
Have a look it up, and if any brands want to book it,
Yeah. Little plug
So
there.
your life, your life revolves around changeovers and fielding complaints and
Yes.
compliments.
Well, I cleaned toilets and changed beds for a good 10 years, and Hannah was just like, you can't do this anymore. Like, you're doing it's stupid. Like, this isn't you. And so she helped me find some cleaners, and we've got a little team now of cleaners that help us run the show. And Hannah basically does all the admin jobs, and I do the maintenance. So
sounds like
yeah,
a pretty sounds good. Sounds like it relates quite closely. So Darren runs a surf camp out in
oh okay,
Estanio in Senyos. So
uh,
I think that where he said about your life revolving around changeovers and cleaning, he's
he can
obviously
relate to that.
deep into his season, so he's definitely yeah, relating to that at the
You do the
moment.
cleaning then, Darren.
Um, I
Good
have
time.
done the cleaning. Yeah, I do a lot of washing.
Yeah. Oh, you do all your own linen.
Yeah, because it's just too hard to get someone in main season to do it, and I always
Yeah.
get to end of October and think after the first year, all that money I spent on someone else doing it when I can do
Yeah.
it myself. And I don't. It doesn't really worry me to do the
Yeah.
washing. I actually don't mind it. I'm a
You
professional
love yeah.
washer.
Get the iron out as well.
Yeah, you just gotta. I don't know. I don't iron. I just you just gotta watch the weather to make sure you get a day because I don't like drying basically.
No, no. I think to be honest, living in this country, like that's the main reason why we can't do it. You hang the washing up, and it
Sure.
just starts pissing it down. So
That
and then the
literally
one
happened to me earlier today. I put two wetties out that were like almost dry, and I was like, "Oh, it's sunny. I can get them out, and they can just be like fully dry." And then like by the time I was like back upstairs, I turned around and just went boom with rain, and I was like, "Oh no!" Like start again.
oh
So,
yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? We're lucky enough to have a greenhouse, so I just hang all my wetties in there
oh yeah, winner. I've got a
with the
garage, and
tomatoes.
they don't dry in my garage. Like
Mm,
they just stay damp, so I don't like it. But yeah,
no airflow.
no,
So
exactly.
how does it work then in the greenhouse that makes them dry quicker?
I guess it just gets super hot in there.
Is that like that's like a transparent
Glass,
roof,
Yeah,
glass. It's all
glass.
glass.
all glass?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it'd be smoking hot in
yeah,
well
yeah, yeah.
when it's sunny.
It's
When
even
you
when it's
think not.
cloudy, it's nice and warm in there. And we've got the doors
Okay.
open and the window, so there is airflow as well. So it's like the perfect
Oh, there
wetsuit
you go.
drying
There's a
habitat.
there's a tip for everyone if you wanna get your
Well,
wetsuit, so good to get it
funny
to a
enough,
glass house.
we had a guest come up to our shepherd hut, and she's seen our wetsuits hanging up there, and she's like, "I can't believe I didn't think of that. I've got a greenhouse at home. Why the hell do I not hang my wetsuits?"
Yeah.
It's one of those things you don't think about.
I can't believe that Emily just shouts at me every time I try and dry them in the house. I think that's outrageous. I think like they should be hanging up everywhere in the house and dripping into towels.
I
Hey, so
wouldn't be allowed to.
oh, I did want to ask though. There was something you touched on about like hating on social media and things like that.
Mm.
And I kind of wanted to ask, and you semi-answered it, and I'm kind of glad of the semi-answer I got, but I wanted to ask a little bit deeper. Um, so with the like coming back onto wanting to do these trips and things like that, one of my curiosities was Like, oh, is that driven by like your like brands wanting you to do that, or you wanting to be more present on social media, or is it driven by you wanting to go and do it, and there's a byproduct of it, there's going to be some content. So yeah, like I'm guessing from your answer earlier, it's more of a like you've made this decision, and if it wasn't going on the internet, you'd still do it anyway.
I think it's a mixture of a bit of everything, to be honest. Like, it's funny, I was looking back on, and I was transferring some footage and loads of pictures on an old hard drive because it's dying. It's a dinosaur, and I got a new one. I was like, I'm going to have a space to store all this stuff, and I was just transferring some old stuff over, and I realised, like, back in early 2000s, I was doing this kind of stuff, like with a handy cam, and
Yeah,
everywhere I'd go, I'd make little videos. And it was so much harder back then to do it, like transferring all the footage over and editing. It was just a lot harder, but I did it, and I actually almost forgot that. And I was like, wow,
yeah, that's a good point.
I've enjoyed doing this back in the day, and then I just stopped and I forgot. And so that kind of recreation of doing it is like kind of a love from deep down of almost like creating and being artistic in the sense of making videos.
Yeah,
And what's kind of really sparked for me is just how easy it is these days, and all the tools you've got on simple little editing softwares. It's just really like amazing, isn't it? You can dive into deep rabbit holes and like do all these effects, and it's actually
yeah,
quite fun.
yeah. It's funny.
Um,
I think that I don't know if it's possible, but just hearing you say that is like when you made those little things, that obviously was before YouTube, before social. I wonder if you
mm,
just repurposed that now and done like and managed to get it onto YouTube.
yeah,
So I reckon that'd go nuts. I reckon
and
it'd be such like great content.
the quality wasn't great, must
But
admit.
I almost think that would be better because like DNA just was like the guy who started it. Like he started vlogs and stuff, and you can kind of go back and see his, and it's almost like kind of nice watching it when it's like rubbish quality, like the
Mm,
same as Marine Layer with Dane and things. But
yeah, the thing is
yeah,
with Dane, he was doing crazy shit, whereas I was
well,
probably
yeah,
just learning cutbacks.
Hey, I wanted to ask because after Matt told me we were going to be speaking to you, obviously I had a bit of a scroll through your Insta, and my eyes were inevitably drawn to that iconic airdrop at that.
Mm,
I don't know
yeah,
where it is, and we won't say where it is, but
yeah.
that's got to be. Is that one of your best ever still shots you've ever had?
What, me wiping out?
Well, you don't know you're going to wipe out. Like obviously, I figured that.
Yeah, well, it's not hard to work out where that wave actually is because I won't actually say it because people probably get offended, but it's not hard to work it out. It's the most fickle wave ever. It
That's what I
only
meant. That.
works. Yeah, it works on huge swells, easterly winds, basically when the crib is massive too, and it needs a really like perfect tide, and it only turns on for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then it's just destroyed. So it goes from fat to like a couple of Nias crazy tubes to complete like dry reef and closing out within like 3 hours. So yeah, it's one of those. It is one of those spots you got to know. And that day I was actually surfing on my own, and I was feeling a bit ill, a bit run down, and I just got out there anyway. And that was, I think, the first or second wave. I just turned around and kind of lackadaisically paddled for this big set, and just didn't paddle hard enough, undergunned as well, and just cartwheeled down, and it was actually a pretty horrible wipeout. Kind of got whiplash.
So was that a Phoenix that you were on for that session, or a real
No, no,
or a step up? No, no,
it was a step up 6'2".
6'2", and you're still undergunned. Easy.
I was undergunned. I'll admit it.
What
Yeah,
would it have
big
needed?
wave.
Like 6'6" or 6'10"?
yeah, easy 6'6" or 6'8" for
Okay.
sure. The hard thing about that wave though is like it's really boily, and you can't get beyond the boil because of the rocks, and so you kind of got to take off at like the worst point possible. And it's all you like much prefer to get in behind it, but you can't. It's one of those waves.
Did you
But
did you get any that day?
I got a
You
couple,
make
but none
any?
I made. None I made. Some nice
Okay.
visions. I've had a couple of nice ones out there before, and I'm hoping to get one like that again and make it hopefully this winter.
Do you have any other waves or spots like that you have that same feeling for? Like maybe a trip you've not done before or a trip you done like a good few years ago that you really want to go and score
Mm,
like on your list as well?
mm. Well, 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago now, I had this kind of yearning for Aleen's.
Yeah.
And I remember going back there when I was a kid, like when I was 16, and I paddled out with Tom Butler and just completely shat myself. I stayed on the shoulder, but somehow drifted in and had like one on the head and just got out of there. So I kind of left it alone for a while and I'd towed Mully a few times and tried to paddle it, but never gone back to the cliffs for some reason. And so I had this yearning, and I went back there, and we scored a really, really good session actually. And I was really quite scared out there. It's like I couldn't believe how heavy it was, and
How,
how
how
the
big was
local
that?
boys. Say again, sorry, Darren.
How big was that then, that session?
I would say it was a good 12, like solid 12 foot. There's a couple of pickies from that session, and I actually got a couple of really bad beatings, but I had a bit of buoyancy on, and I reckon it saved me. My friend do you know Matt Smith? He lives out there.
No, but I think I've heard his name.
Yeah, he lives out there anyway. He was kind of showing me the ropes, and he rushed me down, and I forgot my vest. I got to the bottom. I was like, "Fuck, I forgot." He's like, "Come on, you don't need it. You don't need it. I've been out there so many days without it." I was like, "Matt, I need it. I just need it." And he's like, "Fucking go get it. You're gonna miss the tide." And I was like, "All right," running back up the hill. So I'm actually so glad I got it, because this one wipeout I had, I wasn't even on the wave. I did have one on the wave, but the second one was the worst. It was one of the biggest sets of the day. And I was trying to scramble for a couple of mid ones, turned around, and there it was, classic. Duck dived just under, was about to come up for breath, and didn't make it, and it just sucked me backwards over on a solid 12 footer. And I was like, yeah, this is it now. This is going to be a serious hold under. But like with that bit of buoyancy, it honestly like saved my life, and also the impact, like the actual kind of like thump of hitting the water, and yeah, kind of scary one, but it's good. Got it out the way, and you kind of need a beating there at those places to make you, to humble you, and then hopefully the next time you can get the good one.
What
Yeah.
size board were you riding that day?
I actually borrowed a board from a friend, Patch Wilson. You know Patch? He lives out there too. Patagonia rider.
Yeah, I was
It
going to
was
say
a
I've seen a couple of clips of him. I knew he was one of the Patagonia a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I actually borrowed a board of him. It was a 6'8", quite chunky, and I'd never ridden it before as well. So that was fun.
So it was fun, yeah. Oh yeah, here's this
Straight
like
big next
solid,
to that. Yeah,
yeah, solid 12-foot wave. Here's a board you've never ridden before.
yeah. I wasn't
Leo,
expecting it, to be honest. I was out there to get a feel for it, and yeah, you need to do your time out there if you want to get a good one, like any
Yeah.
big wave spot, really.
I remember Leo flew up there. Leo
Mm,
Fearon, he flew up there and he took this board that Bradley had made for Belly, his stepdad, and it was a 6'8" swallowtail quad by 3 inches. Uh,
mm.
and I think he got like one of the waves. I've still look back at the footage sometime. He got like one of the waves of his
I
life.
think I remember seeing that clip. Actually, he got some beauties, but he's
Yeah,
Leo. It's Leo.
it's a diff. That's what we used to try and tell people. Well, we'll ride the
Yeah,
same board. Yeah, don't think of
yeah. But no, I was actually blown away with the boys out there, like Noah Lane and Taz Knight, and what's his name now? Guy from West Oz. They were just free falling out of these 12 footers sets and bottom turning in, and I was just like in awe. I was in awe of them. So it
and
was a good
directly in
watch.
front of the cliffs, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
Wait.
like 2 nights ago watched Nathan Florence's Storm Erin like clip, and I didn't quite realize the paddle out at Mullaghmore is just. I was like, okay, there's anyone who does that's mental enough. Like, and
The
then
paddle at Mully.
yeah, I did like Nathan Florence is like one of the fittest like servers, and
Mm.
it took him like a long, long time, and
Yeah.
then you got to surf it. It's like I was just like, no, that's
Oh.
crazy.
Well, I was actually kind of gearing up to go out there for this one, for this Erin Storm, and I was like, oh, I've got to do this. I've told everyone I'm going to do it. I'm going to go somewhere. I'm going to be this adventurer again. And I put so much pressure on myself. And like you said, I spoke to G-Man out there. He's like, yeah, like so casual, isn't he? He's just,
Yeah.
yeah, there'll be a few waves around. Come out, Jayce. Like, and he's like, yeah, there'll be a couple of 24s. Whatever.
Yeah, afterwards. He messaged me and he was like, "Yeah, it wasn't as big as I wanted." I was like,
Yeah.
"You're
But
a
then you see the wave he got.
yeah." I was like, well, "Okay, you're off your head, but fair enough."
Mm. Yeah, he's
But
charging it.
you scored though. Like I know a lot of people with the Storm Erin got like Darren kind of scored it, but also got beaten up. And I know a lot of boys around in Cornwall were, like basically said, oh, they kind of like had a goose chase and didn't
Mm.
really score. But I saw your clips. You kind of scored.
You see me go over the falls.
Yeah. Um, I saw the one where the boys are on the beach and I think it's like Alex Libby and someone else, and they like,
Yeah,
oh, it's Jayce, and then you go straight over the
yeah,
forest.
cooked it, big time. So I was riding the Phoenix on that session, and you
Yeah, so
guys, I
that's
don't know, you know where that
undergunned.
is. You know
That's
where it
under.
is, don't you?
I do, but yeah, still
It's
undergunned.
it was just rippy. It was really rippy, and when you're trying to take off, and there's just horrible lumps everywhere, and trying. I mean, what made me feel better is Sam Lamroy came along, and he also went over the falls in every single one too. So that was fun to watch.
That's,
You've got 20 years on him.
I know,
Maybe not 20, 15.
and he owns a pub, a bar, restaurant.
So if you look at your Instagram, you could just get the impression that maybe the UK or your area is kind of underrated because actually a lot of those clips there where you're getting like pretty sick barrels, that's
Mm,
it can be a big mirage, obviously, videos and photos, but there are
yeah,
incredible waves that you're getting.
I think the kind of like what I wanted to show really is exactly what I put on that clip. And that day on Storm Erin, like I went over the falls twice. I had a little bit of white water to my face and a hoot from the beach, and that was it. It wasn't a good session. I'm not going to pretend that it was. Like it was fun to go somewhere different and get a beating and potentially get a really good barrel, but it was really tricky. But yeah, going back to your point of this area being like good, it can be. I would say it's quite like Brittany. You don't really hear about it, but there's some nice waves around when they work.
yeah. And one of the best waves, which is probably one of the most well-known waves, and there's a few clips I've seen like over the last couple of years where you've got waves there is Lev, and
Mm,
that can look and can be world class on its day
mm.
and busy. But from what I've heard, you probably won't admit, but from what I've heard, a few of the boys say is like, yeah, like you're getting your pick of your waves out there.
Me
Yeah,
personally,
yeah,
well,
yeah.
I actually don't. I don't surf the main peak.
No, you
I
because you
very.
surf the even scarier part, right?
I wouldn't say it's scary. It's almost just like it's like a beach break on rocks. It's quite friendly, to be honest. Like I see the main peak and I see like 10 guys from Yuki out there, all trading waves and hungry, and I just can't be bothered. So I just surf wrestles, and I tend to go right at wrestles, and
Yeah,
no one really does that. Like not many people do that. They go left, and it's a little bit of a secret, but
yeah. So
it's,
there's a wave I saw. I
What
don't know if it
was?
was don't know if it
yeah,
was
it
last week.
was.
Don't know if it was last winter or the winter before, but there's a wave where you split the peak with Harry, and it's a both of you get a nuts one. Um,
Yeah, Yeah, I think that was a randomly quiet day on the main
Yeah,
peak, and someone got the water angle of my one. I think on is that the
yeah,
one you're talking
yeah,
about? Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. That was kind of nuts that day. I wasn't expecting it. I almost didn't go in. There was hardly
Hey,
anyone in at all. It had a bit of a westerly to it that was chopping it up, but sometimes the right on the main peak can actually still take that wind, and it was
Yeah,
quite like a big period swell. And Ben Skinner was actually out that day as well, and it was just I think it was like 40 minutes of just mental tubes, just
sick.
turned on. You guys
Have-
should you should reach out to Tom Lowe.
Yeah,
He's he's classic. Like the stuff he says, honestly, he'll crack you up.
definitely will reach out to him actually because I've recently watched his latest um, biopic, I guess you could call it, and I
Yeah,
thought it was absolutely incredible.
yeah.
Um, yeah, he'd be a
I'm
really
sure
good
he'll be
one.
up for a chat. He'll be up for a chat. It'll be interesting as well about like almost dying twice and
Yeah,
where he's going in the future.
I had a really super interesting and intriguing podcast a couple of years ago with Seb Smart,
Mm,
and
mm.
and it was on an old laptop and it went corrupt, and I've never been able to like get him back on,
Oh my
but
God.
like got him on a good day and stuff, and that was a really good chat.
I've actually been watching because I've been more involved myself now in Instagram and stuff. I've been watching his videos that he's putting out, and he's
Yeah,
just fucking cracking me up.
yeah,
With the,
he really cracks me up, and like I just find him super interesting. Like I like the way
yeah,
he surfs. I
yeah,
like the board. Like I kind of like the boards he rides, even though there'd be nothing I'd ever really ride. And then his art and things like that, I find him like super
mm,
interesting.
yeah, yeah. I
But
mean, they all are all the smarts. They're all
yeah,
crazy guys. Like it's like they've been shut off really from the rest of the world, and they've just developed their own characters that are
yeah,
completely different to everyone.
yeah. He's like, I find him intriguing, and he's almost like like so himself that you almost like get this guy on a TV program or something like
Yeah,
where someone just follows him
yeah,
around.
yeah. I guess Lowy's a very similar chap. He's just a bit more straight and on the straight and narrow, but he's very honest and he's just
Yeah.
funny. We just find him funny talking to Tom.
you see him in that there's a there's a video with Harry Bryant and them where they were just on a tear in pubs and stuff, and they were kind of a bit shocked how dedicated and focused he was while they were
Mm.
just on a tear, and he was like in a 3 day build up with breathing and
Oh my
meditation.
god.
It was quite funny.
Yeah, I mean, well, I've known Tom my whole life, and back in the day when he was younger, he wasn't like that at all. He'd be going out, getting pissed up with everyone, and it was just lifeguarding and dish pigging, and there was no focus or desire like that. He was completely different, but like booze never really agreed with him, and it's so good to see him turn that around and turn that energy into something he was super passionate about. And he's gone to the extremes of big wave surfing, and he's got a mind on him like no one else. He's quite insane, really.
So
But I thought,
I had a two-part question for you, Jace. Actually, you were 36. You were saying,
yeah,
how are you feeling physically at the moment, injury-wise, health-wise?
I'm feeling really good actually, really good. I used to like stretch a lot, like every day when I was trying to like qualify through the ISA for the Olympics. I was like going through this phase of doing the Wim Hof breathing and stretching every day, and I honestly had more injuries then. I was like, I had groin problems. I had weird little like things in my body that I just be like, fuck, can I just go away now, And I found that if I by doing a little bit less, I'm still super active. Like I go for runs every couple of days. I surf whenever there's surf, and I've got no niggles, nothing to complain about. And
There's
Hannah, my partner, she's a great cook. She cooks healthy food. She keeps me alive and kicking.
It's not rocket science, is it?
No, no, it's not. But it's easy to fall down a dark hole or a dark trap when you're, I don't know, just in a bad way. You've got things going wrong in your life, and hit the bottle and end up having 3 or 4 beers every night. It's easy to do that.
Well, so that was the second part, like, because a lot of people will get into that's a really dangerous period between 30, 35 and 45, and I'm the other side of it. But you'll notice when you get to my age, I'm over 50, that at 36, you honestly, you're like a puppy. And people that actually can grasp that end up being, and you'll notice it as you get older, you'll see that the actual surfing appetite doesn't die, it just gets kind of like even stronger because you're torn away from it by
Really,
life,
yeah.
domestic and everything else. But so you just actually want to surf more and more.
So you're just almost trying to get back to that ability that you once had, do you reckon? Is that the...
Yeah, but still, there's this book called Born to Run, and in distance sports, you may not be as agile, but in distance related sports, which you could say surfing's one of it, because when surfing's good, it's good. When it's pumping, you kind of want to be in the water as long as you can. And I've noticed that I can surf longer now than what I could maybe even 15 years ago. And they
Wow.
say for long distance runners that like your peak could be 21, 22 with your speed, but then you hold that until you're 60.
That's interesting, isn't it? As long as you, as long as you obviously eat healthy and keep that
As
kind
long
of
as you look, yeah.
cardiovascular. Yeah.
Do you also think there's an element as well of like so like obviously you started out surfing and the people you surfed with when you were 16, 17, you've maintained a lifestyle which has allowed you to surf a lot and to obviously to continue to surf every single day. Obviously some people they move away from it, they fall out of love with it, they get a relationship with alcohol or with food or and they don't surf. But then you find that you're surfing with younger people every like so like the people you're surfing with because you're surfing more and more are getting younger and younger and there's that desire to be like or that kind of thing of like oh what I still want to like
Yeah.
I still want to do that kind of it keeps
Yeah.
you they keep you young as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like surfing with the Groms of the town.
Yeah.
Although I find I go out these days and there isn't really any Groms. I'm just like, where are they?
Well,
Am I
yeah,
still the Grom?
yeah.
It's kind of
You are
crazy.
the
Yeah. Like
new
maybe
Gronk.
it's weird. Like I don't know if it's the same in Newquay, but there's probably like 3 kids and they get up at like 11 o'clock and
Mm.
get in maybe like at 12. And normally back in the day, people would have had a couple of surfs by then.
I think in Newquay, um, thanks to the board riders and a few, I mean, maybe like a few families that are like all intertwined as well and stuff. There's definitely a good little like Grom kind of movement,
Yeah,
and like I do see a few of them doing like or like hear and see a few of them doing Dornies and like surfing all
yeah,
day.
yeah,
The only thing I'd say from that though is when I observe it is they are so the kids and the parents are so focused on competitions
yeah,
that it's like it's great that the kids are out there and the Groms are like doing it and there is a Grom movement coming through and like I think
yeah,
Joel Gray's great like he runs like
yeah.
Grom clubs and does coaching and stuff but I do think to myself like are they surfing because they know they've got a competition coming up or whatever, or are they surfing for the love of like the and learning the
Well,
other side of it as well?
I think, putting myself back in those shoes when I was a kid, I would surf every day because I did obviously just love it, but then I also seen this competition side and seen this way of life and the sponsorship coming in, and it all just got a bit more exciting when you had that
Yeah,
to kind of aim for. But down in France last September, I was down there with Hannah, and we were just like looking at the lifestyle of Mickey Peacon and his kids and other families, cruising down on their bikes with the umbrellas and the packed lunch in the back, and 5 boards on either side, and it was just like, this is just another level. Like, we
Yeah,
don't get that at home. They just go down and hang out for the day and surf like the best little bank ever. Like, of course, they're going to be better.
yeah, definitely. And like Phipps, like obviously like um I've spent some time down there like the last good few years, and like Jay Phipps when he was like 13, him his mate Axel Dominguez, who's like a really, really cool surfer, like does really good footage and stuff, and a couple of the other guys, they all had their bikes, and it was like they had independence, but
Mm,
also that
mm,
their parents knew they were just going to the beach and they're just surfing. They're not like out robbing towns up or like
yeah,
beating up old people.
what like
And
we
they,
do back here,
yeah, yeah, when it's flat, you just yeah, when it's flat, you just
chucking eggs at
kick
people.
people in. Yeah. But it was like, yeah, it was the whole lifestyle, like it
Mm,
definitely was some, I get super jealous of it. And like, obviously Darren lives it.
yeah,
Um,
you see it
It
every
can't
day.
be
Hey, Darren.
easy though. It can't be easy for you guys in like I've always thought that in sub-zero like temperatures. Like if I was a kid, like neither of my sons have taken to surfing. Maybe my youngest son who's 12, who's really into sports, he might come back to it, but
Mm,
it wouldn't surprise me that he doesn't because it's so difficult and like as great as like for example, I was asking you before if where you live's underrated, where I would claim that where we live here is overrated because it's like it's really good in photos and it is pretty good, but we get
mm,
too much swell a lot of the time, which
yeah,
condenses people into shitty spots. And
yeah,
like if
we,
you're a kid with tides and massive and cold and wetsuits,
yeah,
you just go to the
yeah,
basketball court and you can shit.
yeah. No, you're right. And going back to that question again, like we do have the option of like 3 different coasts. We've got obviously our massive north coast with all the different beaches and coves, and then like Gwemba, Sennen at Land's End side, a few little reef breaks down there, and then obviously the south coast, and they're all in proximity of half an hour of driving. And so in that sense, it is really cool. And I like the beach breaks here. They're small and confined, and you feel like you know where you are exactly. We obviously don't get those crazy running banks. You do sometimes, but not like you do down there. But you get more wedgy kind of fun conditions. I guess a bit more like Cabreton and Santosha kind of style waves
And we get crazy running rips that you just can't paddle
as
against.
well. Although they keep you fit, like you were saying,
Oh,
keep you surfing longer.
I've seen people with red faces, and you just know that their spirit's broken.
Yeah,
yeah, there's nothing
all
worse
they've got.
when you're that guy and then Darren or Fipsy just paddles past me with ease, and I'm like, wait, I'm stuck. Why? How are you moving and I'm not moving?
I
So,
get
so
this
where
feeling
is
at
your
the.
next surf trip plan then, Jace?
Sorry, just going back to injuries, I've got one thing I'll mention that I've got right now,
Oh,
and it really does me in. I get these really like horrible little ribs, and they're like it's not the actual rib bone, but it's like gristle in between the skin and the bone. And every now and then it comes on, and it stays for like 3 months, and I've got it right now, and it's just horrible because you feel like you can't paddle fast, you can't
on
turn
your
around for a
ribs.
wave.
Is
Yeah,
that from paddle? Do you think
Yeah,
that's
I've
from
got.
paddling? Like from
yeah,
the yeah.
yeah. And I don't know how it goes. Sometimes it just goes, and I'm like, well, hey, yeah, done now. But I just have periods of like serious pain, making me like makes me feel sick.
And like wetsuits don't take out the like the padding of it, like a 5 mil
No,
suit doesn't give you padding or
no,
anything like that.
no. I was thinking about like creating a product because I'm sure there's other people out there, like some
Oh,
kind of
there's,
band that you can put across that
there's a shit ton.
supports it in a way.
Yeah, because the reason I ask about the wetsuit is because I went to Indo early this year and I was
Mm.
talking to the UK Rip Curl rep
Right.
about just like so I was in Indo and I was wearing like a rashi, but like day one, day two, you just get absolutely ripped, like you're just raw on your belly, like and on your chest. And I was like, what? All I needed was 1.5 mil neoprene chest section, and then
Mm.
the rest could all have just been fabric, like and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like, oh, would that have solved your problem? But obviously, it sounds like it wouldn't have.
No, it's. I feel like I need an operation to get the gristle out.
Yeah, sounds
because I
like
can
it.
feel it when I'm like feeling it now. It's you can feel it in the skin. It's all
Yeah,
like
weird.
horrible in there,
Yeah,
and it's maybe built up over time. But
I've
sounds
yeah,
got,
like
it's just
I've got a huge
horrible.
rock of cartilage on my left rib that
Oh,
got
have you?
ripped. Yeah, got ripped out of the rib cage and stuck on the front of it. It's like a big. It literally feels like a rock. I thought that it had
Oh.
snapped the bone, but
Does
the
that affect you then?
oh yeah, like
Yeah.
it's all right. It's if you don't surf much, and then when you start surfing again. But as long
Yeah.
as you're surfing all the time, it's kind of like barefoot walking, which I've been doing
Mm.
a bit of too. Like if you do it all the time, your feet become
Yeah.
tough. But if you
Is
never
that
do
your
it, you
yeah?
try to walk down the road, you
That's
get
your
smashed.
that's your excuse. Then you're like, I've got to do it because the ribs will go weak.
Yes,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna have to say good night, boys. I got a young boy I got to put to bed.
yeah.
Right on,
Well,
Darren.
we can end it on Darren's question just so people can be excited. Like what, like is there one trip that you've got lined up or eyed up that we can be like looking out for?
Well, we were talking about South Africa, Cape Town, doing
Wow.
the garden route this winter. Um, but that wouldn't be so much a specific surf trip. That would just be us having a jolly. But I definitely want to get back to Ireland and try and get that that barrel of my life at the cliffs. That's
Yeah.
really on my mind, and I've got a few boards now of my own that I can ride out there, which would be good, and maybe I can try them out on 2 foot Porthmeor. Not that
Yeah.
that will help, but I've got myself a nice little Patagonia shorty with inflation, so I feel like I'm a bit more prepared now. And yeah, so definitely keeping an eye on swells for that.
Sounds like a
So
plan.
you said you got a couple of boards. What specifically are those boards? Like what length are we talking about and width and thickness?
So I've got a 6'8" DHD, which actually is probably a little bit on the thin side, but will be good for like 10 foot days maybe. And then I've got another board that isn't a DHD. It's a 7.0, and then I've got an 8.0 as well,
More like guns.
which are thicker. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how big I'd really be willing to surf it. I guess that will all depend on if I turn up and shoot one off my pants or not. Just
Yeah.
be like,
Oh,
I'm not doing it. But
oh,
you get there and you get so excited, and you can't not when you see other people paddling out, and that's what you're there to do. I think you've just got to go out at least and sit in the shoulder and suss it out and see if you're ready for one.
all depends on how the gristle's feeling that day.
How the gristle's feeling.
Would you say that someone of your ability, um, when you're at a spot like that, if you're and not in a immodest way or anything, but when you're seeing people that are clearly got less ability than you and less surf experience charging down, is that going to motivate you to say, "Hey, I've got to have a go"?
It kind of does, like for sure. But at the same time, like those people might be so gung ho,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter. Like they might not even think about dying, whereas I might be like, I don't really want to die yet.
Yeah.
And you hear the horror stories down there of people just snapping their boards and leashes like just before they're about to paddle in, get swept on the wrong side of the cliffs, and then the only way to get back around is to swim out around the point, which is an hour probably to get out back, and then you've got to probably swim another half an hour south, so that then when you're swimming in the rip that's coming across, make sure you don't come on that side of it again. It's a full on loop that would probably
Yeah.
take you an hour and a half to 2 hours if
And
you
people
snap
have
your
done
board.
that,
Oh
swimming.
yeah, yeah. There's been people like there's one story of a guy getting stuck under the cliff. His mate thought he got out and walked to the pub, and his missus phoned him. He's like, I can't remember who it was, but he's like, is he with you? And he's like, no, he's not with me. He's like, so they sent a search party out, and he was, on the wrong side of the cliff. It was dark, parked up for the night,
Nuts.
middle of winter.
Sitting on the rocks.
Yeah, because you can't scale around. You can't scale around. You have to swim out back and then around down the channel again. It's really quite brutal if that happens. And it kind of makes me think about back in the day as well when Loey and Fergs and Mickey were out there and it was just them.
Yeah, no skis, no
Yeah.
one else. Like
No,
that's
no.
wild.
I don't think they had a ski at the start. They were just out there, and I'm sure there was guys before then as well doing it too. Maybe a couple of random blokes go down, and but
That's
nowadays
wild.
at least there's a crew of people out the back.
Yeah.
That was that circle of three video, wasn't it?
Yeah, powers are free.
Power of three. That was insane. I remember that.
Yeah, yeah, really cool stuff. So
Thanks
that's
for
inspiring, and yeah, makes
Well,
you feel
we
a little bit safer when you go out today, this day and age.
well, I mean, the South Africa thing sounds like an all-time trip, surf trip, or just standard trip anyway. Like, it looks incredible, and
Mm.
we look forward to seeing more of what like this new kind of chapter comes and brings and stuff. And we're definitely like going to be watching from the front seat. So yeah, stoked. And thanks so much for your time and jumping on. Really
No,
appreciate it.
thank you. Thanks for watching my stuff, and yeah, I'll try and put out some funny content with some good surfing.
Yeah, and next time you're in Estaño in Senos, you gotta go see Daz, get
I
an acai
will.
bowl from his cafe and
Oh,
get some
yes.
waves.
Yeah, send me a link to that, Darren. I'll be really interested to pop by and see your gaff, see your
Yeah, no
setup.
worries, mate. Thanks very much for letting us talk to you.
All good. I've enjoyed it.
Pleasure. Thanks so much. We'll speak
Speak
soon.
to you guys. All the best.
Take
Au
care.
revoir.
Au
Au
revoir.
revoir.